Welcome to another live edition of Pittsburgh Sportsline in the BPTV studios. Thanks for watching us. We're on Pittsburgh Sportsline. We're live there. I just looked down and saw me and Nick, so that's all good. Thanks for watching us on Comcast 7. Thanks for watching us on Verizon 32 in the greater Pittsburgh area from Nemacolin to Cranberry, Wexford, all points in between. On the Facebook page, we're holding steady at 6930. So we'll see what happens with that. And we have a great show for you. I'm Al Levine, the talking machine. We got Smokin' Jim Frazier, Chip Hayner, and Nicholas Callis here. And we're going to start talking sports right now. We get a little promo here. There it is. Great job, Anthony, with the camera. This is Olive Oil's Pizzeria. They give an XL pizza, pepperoni for us, and a steak hoagie cut 6 ways to help split it all up for us, and it works out well. Frank Fanero, the owner, said hello to all of us and loves the show.
Love your food, Frank.
Yeah, and he was there, and his son Fabrizi was there. I said hi to him, and he had the pizza and the hoagie ready for me. And we got it there, but check them out, 412-831-1900. Great Italian food. And they got salads, they got hoagies, you name it. They got desserts, so check them out. Hillcrest Shopping Center. What? Okay, there's Chipper. All right, next up, Bethel Park Historical Society's Schoolhouse Arts and History Center. Great job again, Anthony. 2600 South Park Road. Can't miss it. It's up on the corner there with Park Avenue, and there's a trolley, a red trolley. That's before the T's. You know the trolley. They have a 1905 schoolhouse, the original schoolhouse. It's been refurbished, remodeled, new windows, new roof, new inside. They do different events. They have a library. They got old uniforms, military uniforms for men and women. They got all the yearbooks from Bethel Park High School, so check it out. They do events. They should be doing some there soon. My favorite tea place, which is Reginald's Coffee. They have great roasted coffee. A couple friends of mine said, hey, thanks for telling us about Reginald's Coffee. They go up there and have the coffee. They go, their coffee's better than Starbucks. So I heard that's not hard to believe, but I'm not a coffee drinker. I get my Dragon Well loose leaf green tea. So we'll see you up there. Next up, we end each show with Stay Joey Strong. We honor 9-year-old Joey, who died actually before his 9th birthday, and that was 6 years ago. And he died of a dreaded brain cancer called DIPG. It's a death sentence for all the kids that are diagnosed with it. Usually within a year they're dead. But the family, that's the second child they lost, great family. They started the Joey Fabus Childhood Cancer Foundation, and they have a lot of events. Check out the event on September 12th, 9 a.m. in the morning, Bethel Park High School. We'll be filming. I might get Nick or Anthony to film it, so we'll see what we can do there. 9 a.m., they have Superheroes Race, because Joey loved the superheroes, 5K 1-mile walk. We had a champion runner that ran the 1-mile race and won it for the women's each year. She graduated with my daughter. I forget her name right now, but we had her as a guest at Olive Oil's Pizzeria. And we have more people coming this year, and we're excited to do it since we had a hiatus last year. Next up, I went to an interesting event with the Kidney Foundation. There's this group called Always Be Smiling, and it's a great group, and they have a farm in Upper St. Clair. It's near South Hills Village. I don't know if you've seen cows sometimes and sometimes horses. but there's a farm, and I always told my kids I'd like to go up there someday. You haven't seen it, but I understand. It's right near South Hills Village. It's on Orr Drive, 130 Orr Drive. So I went there on Sunday morning, Smoking Jim. You were just going to bed. I went up there at 6:45 in the morning, and their son, they lost their first son, like he was born with kidney disease, a serious kidney disease problem, and he died, and they didn't know. Nobody in the family had it. And this son, Bennett, they call him B, he had some other problems, but he had to get a kidney. He needed a new kidney, and guess what? His dad, Dean, gave him a new kidney, and he lived to be 16 and a half years old. And they just had a great event honoring him. So they call this, it's a Facebook page. If you want to like it, please like it. Always Be Smiling. And his mother, Kristen, she's going to be a future guest on the Talking Machine show, because they got a great story. And what a great family. They just gave $6,000 to other people having problems, health problems with their kids, to try to help a family or two out. So they're just great people.
Good stuff.
I just wanted to bring that up. Great day, and it was great to be at that farm. They had about 7 horses, Smoking Jim, and people could actually pet them. Wow. Like you could pet that horse that you owned at the Meadows. And they had a couple ponies, and it was just a great event. They even had an ice cream truck, I'll drop a little name, called Millie's, and I had some mint ice cream that was delicious. They thought it was pistachio because it looked like it, but it had mint in it.
Did they have butter pecan?
No, they did not. I asked if Smoking Jim were here, could he get butter pecan? No. All right, Dave Cable likes to have a little fun at my expense. And here's this nice sheet. It's still staying good. Some pizza got on there, so you have to excuse that. I'll hold it here. But look at that. I want you for BPTV. Tell them Uncle Al sent you. 412-831-3304. I heard we have 2 new interns. Nick and Anthony both told me the same story, and they didn't hang around for the show. So they're at the bottom of the list right now. So we'll see what happens in the next week or so. But if you want to, it sounds like they're from Monroeville.
I'm here. Hold on.
Sounds like they're from Monroeville. That's so out of order. I can't do a disclaimer. I have to call Smoking Jim. First time ever on Pittsburgh Sportsline. He's out of order. And he loves it. So very good. All right, next up. Kathleen Miller, you know I'm asking for a new kidney for her. She lives at Friendship Village there on Boyce Road, just down the road from here, about 15 minutes away, and she watches our show. So hi, Kathleen, haven't talked to you in a while. I got to check back in with you, see how you're doing. She may need a kidney transplant next year, so check it out. I'll read it to you. Go to livingdonorreg.upmc.com. Again, livingdonorreg.upmc.com, and say you want to donate a kidney to Kathleen Miller. They'll set it up for you to come in and donate a kidney. If you're not a match, they can even switch it up for another person and then give a credit that Kathleen would get another kidney from somebody else. So they can do that. So check it out. Next up, Bethel Park Community Foundation. BPCF has grant money for you, from $100 to $5,000. Go to bpcf.org, get an application. I got a trustee meeting since I'm not working on Thursday nights with Pittsburgh Sportsline. So Thursday night we have our bi-monthly meeting. So I'll be at the schoolhouse for our meeting at 7 o'clock on Thursday night. Come on out there. Bring an application and ask for some money to help you out. We've raised over $1 million and given it out over 25 years. So we've helped a lot of groups and people in Bethel Park. Then we have a sponsor for What's on Your Mind. I can't show it here because we don't have a cameraman in here. We're missing cameramen. So one of those interns would have been very nice. It's called Skeet Service Station, 6103 Route 88. Red, White, and Blue Station. And 724-348-4715. They work on anything and everything that runs on gas. Chip says, make sure you bring some gas. I told them about it, so they said, we got a little gas tank here. We can at least get it started. And you can come out there. Smoking Jim and I have had cars inspected here. With my new car, they'll be shocked. I got to stop in and show them on a Monday or something that I got a new car. and it's riding very well, so that's always good. But yeah, check them out again, 724-348-4715. Smoking Jim Frazier, what's on your mind?
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And if you want the green, you got to see Levine. I feel like Mazeroski. But hey, Al Levine, the talking machine, we couldn't do it without my main man, Anthony. Never a hair out of place, and he's wearing my favorite shirt. I'll do it tomorrow. And we got the VIP of BPTV, the only unanimous vote for Rookie of the Year, the biggest arms ever seen this side of Mickey. And I tell you what, man, got an opportunity to meet your mom last week. Man, you come from a great family. Every time you say your prayers, you should really pray.
Shout out to Maureen.
That you grew
we
up
had
with
a
the
great
family
conversation. We found out we have union backgrounds in our history and her life right now.
He come from a great family, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. And his dad's great. He sang happy birthday to me. So, Steve, I'm a fan of his. And we like Nick, don't we?
But Al Levine, the talking Al Levine, the talking machine, I'm a little disappointed in you and Nick. I ain't going to hold Chip's feet to the fire on this one. But hey, Al Levine, the talking machine, you bought a beautiful SUV. I like it, but you should have came to me because now I could have saved you $3,000. So whenever I buy a car, I ask for a previously dented vehicle. I don't go in the showroom. I go in the auto body spot. Hey, lower that down, put the engine back in it, and knock off $3,000.
Disclaimer, hold it.
I want that previous dent.
Disclaimer, this is not a true story. He bought the car because he had money from his head-on collision that he was probably responsible for. And then he was off for a month because who knows what he had, whiplash, brain damage, heart issues,
toe jam,
leg issues, who knows. But his car was not dented when he bought it because he has eye trouble.
Why are you mad at me? What did I do? Well, next time you buy a car, come to me. I'll save you $3,000 on a previously owned dent.
I want to see what the cost,
things wrong with
the
it.
car cost and what you saved. Show that to me because I don't believe it.
he went to the Mr. Magoo driving.
Whoa! He practices daily.
But
Thanks, Smoking Jim.
I got a bone to pick with High Diddle Diddle. Chip up the middle for a double. Listen, Chip. I got 13 God kids, so everybody calls me the Godfather. You probably heard that before.
No, we never did. You had 99. You had 99 godchildren. What happened?
I want Chip
you lost 80 of them.
I want Chip to use all his skills to help me out. I need you to tell me how I can order a Padres jersey of Frazier on the back. It broke my heart. Now, Chip.
Amazon.
Well, you work on that for me because somebody else mentioned Amazon and that was a little over my head. I need step by step. But listen, I got a boat.
That's one step.
Yeah. You ordered through Amazon?
Yeah, I have.
See, I haven't ordered that.
I've ordered books. You know, I read books. I've actually ordered them from Amazon.
When you start bringing in plates and I start paying for my food so I can eat healthy, you can show me how to do it. But here's the thing.
Come to my house.
As I wrap this up.
Come to my house. Come to my house.
As I wrap this up, Al Levine, the talking machine, all I can say is this. You guys know I hate all kind of discrimination, especially reverse discrimination. The Pirates got pitchers, white pitchers all over the league doing well, but they still got Polanco on the team. They get rid of Austin Meadows, a great white young prospect, but they still got Polanco on the team. They get rid of my favorite player since Andy Van Slyke, Adam Frazier, but they still got Polanco on the team. It looks like to me the Pirates are practicing reverse discrimination, and I don't like it.
I have a better explanation. Polanco doesn't have any trade value, and he hasn't for years.
I mean, he's locked into a contract.
That's expensive.
A guaranteed contract.
Well, from now on, call me the Italian Stallion, because if that black guy can be the Greek freak, I can be the Italian Stallion. You know, I identify with the Italians. And that's what's on my mind. Greek freak is darker than me.
David Fabus, you're welcome. You know we're always promoting.
You know it.
Forget about it. We'll talk to David Fabus there. Thanks for tuning in, and we appreciate that. Jerry Johnson, always thanks. And Aaron James Greenwald, go Steelers. We'll have to listen to Smokin' Jim on his Steeler update. So we'll have to hear that. And Anthony Veltry's still watching us, like 6 notifications that he's watching us. So thank you on Facebook for doing it. And I have to shout out to a lady I met at Olive Oil's Pizzeria. She's waiting. I'm there, and, we're talking. So hello, Holly. Enjoy that pizza. And I said I'd give a shout out to you if you tuned in on Facebook FaceTime. So if she's there. Chip Hayner, I know we got a little distracted here like usual with Smokin' Jim, and thanks for bringing us back a little bit. That Dent story is not even true, but we understand. He had a car that was pristine. He can look that up in a dictionary. What's on your mind, Chip?
What's on my mind? So many different things on my mind. We're right in the middle of the Olympics. Lots going on over in Japan. The American women's gymnastic team took home silver this year. So hats off to them. To kind of go the full gamut here, we've got happenings going on in the hockey world. Marc-Andre Fleury, unknown to him, got traded to the Chicago Blackhawks, probably against his will. Whether or not he ever plays for the Blackhawks, we'll see. More to come on that. That's a developing story. The Pirates have already made a number of trades.
Yes,
with
and
more
they still
trades,
got time.
with
They got
more
time.
trades to come. And I don't understand what all the hubbub is about because, come on, the Pirates are 23 games under 500 as we speak tonight.
Let me repeat that. For all of you that miss it, including Smokin' Jim, he almost bit a finger. 23 games under 500. This is not surprising, Chip.
It's not surprising, and we're not breaking up the 27 Yankees.
No, Murderers Row.
So, for the Pirates to become a contending team in the future, they need a lot of young talent, and one thing Ben Cherington has a track record of doing is acquiring and developing young talent.
Oh, yeah.
Which he is in the process of doing. I think he's brought almost 30 players into our minor league system.
Yeah.
And they took the Pirates farm system, which was in the bottom third of the league,
Yeah.
into a top 5.
They're up to top 5.
Top 5 already, and depending on what they do through the trades through the rest of the week, they could end up as one of the top 3 minor league organizations.
Next year, Smokin' Jim, don't bet against them.
And it's going to take some time to develop the talent. Last year there were no minor leagues, so there's a lot of people that are playing catch up. So we've got that. We've got the Pittsburgh Steelers in training camp. And all we hear is negative about the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're not going to be 500. They're not going to make the playoffs. Ben's not going to make the Hall of Fame. The offensive line's not going to be able to block, run block, or pass block. But you know what? They play 17 games. We'll see come the end of the season. And then one of the things that made my heart sing this morning, I heard that Karen Rodgers will be playing for the Green Bay Packers this year. The crybaby came to terms with the team, and that will be his new name now, Karen Rodgers, because he should just keep his mouth closed, accept the Brinks truck full of money that they're giving him to play football, and keep his mouth closed and play. I mean, he felt like
I have an opinion on that after a bit.
and you will. But my opinion was Karen Rodgers will be playing for the Packers this year. We'll see. Maybe
and potentially in 22.
well, we'll see. He'll probably spend half the year on the injured list because, why work for that money? But, and then you got the men's basketball team in the Olympics, the United States men's team.
You lost a friend.
They are losing to teams that they have no business losing to. And why is that? Because if you take a bunch of individuals and they don't play as a team, the interesting thing that these other countries' basketball teams take a lot of pride in representing their team, and they make sacrifices for the good of the team. And I honestly believe that most of the players that are on the United States team, they're doing this more to push forward their brand so they can increase their social media footprint and bring in more money.
You mean like Juju?
You know, because you can't have, everybody can't be the high scorer for the game. You know, they need to play well as a team.
As a team, yeah.
Are they capable of doing it? The answer to that question is absolutely yes. Will they? I don't know. I think the egos are getting in the way.
Yeah.
But just kind of a hodgepodge of things that's on my mind. A lot going on, but there you go. That's what's on my mind.
Should we even let Smoking Jim ask one of his
Sure, go
notoriously
ahead.
bad questions?
On Sunday, I got to drive up to Harrisburg. Does the Pirates got a minor league system in Harrisburg?
No, but you'll be driving. You can actually drive almost through Altoona, and you go see the Altoona curve.
I like that. That's a nice stadium.
That's a nice stadium.
been
Yes,
there.
Doesn't
it is.
Harrisburg have a minor league team that's not affiliated with the Pirates?
I wasn't sure.
Senators?
I wasn't sure.
Look it up.
I need
Google
something
it.
to do while I'm up there.
Just Google it.
Nation capital.
Thank you, Chip. Nicholas Callis, what's on your mind?
Well, I'm sad Adam Frazier is gone, and I will support financing a San Diego Padres jersey for
Thank
Smoking
you, sir.
Jim so he
Thank
can
you, sir.
support the team. I'm jumping on the Slam Diego bandwagon now.
Are you?
Joe Musgrove and Adam Frazier on there. They've got playoff contention.
What's that? Pirates West now.
Yeah, I mean it's close enough, isn't it?
Yeah.
Padres.
And their uniforms
Pirates.
kind of look the same.
I wouldn't say that, but but
He
yeah,
said
I'll
it.
jump.
He said it.
I'll jump on the wagon now. I'm also surprised that the Yankees had interest in Clay Holmes, which is interesting. The Pirates are making a lot of moves, which slightly surprised me. But you know, when
Chip
you,
gave you the explanation.
right when I think about it more, it's not that
Good
surprising.
reliever.
What?
Good relief pitcher.
Clay Holmes?
He don't watch baseball.
That's what I was.
Yeah.
That he was. Not,
Sorry to interrupt.
He was not. He had a. What,
He
He's
doesn't
had-
know. He doesn't know baseball.
He's had some good moments, but he's been inconsistent.
443 earned run average.
yeah.
Trade.
Almost,
Not great. I don't know
almost
why
giving
they were,
up 5 runs a game, Smoking.
Yeah, I don't know why they're interested. in him,
And
so that's
and
kinda
I'll
like
just
a-
explain. That's bad.
But it's suspicious. It's really suspicious. Why do they want his arm? I don't know. Did the Pirates get gypped out of a deal? Did those minor
No,
leaguers?
he's not hurt. He's not hurt.
Actually, the one player that they got, his name's Hoy, is a second baseman. He's leading AAA in batting average. He's batting .327, and he plays a pretty decent second base.
Still suspicious. I'm not saying the Pirates lost out on the deal.
He's
It's
in
just
Indianapolis.
suspicious. Why are they taking Clay Holmes from
Did you
us?
say
And why are
Hoy?
they giving us
I think
They
the-
somebody
want to
who's
help
doing
us.
well?
They
I
feel
think the
bad
Yankees
for
are
one of
in
the worst
panic
teams in
mode.
baseball.
Did Chip say Hoy?
Hoy Park's his name. Yeah, nice. It seems like a good player.
Wait,
He's an
the
Irish
Yankees
guy.
are in panic.
He's
mode.
Irish.
I understand that. It's still just suspicious to me. That's all.
Well, you're allowed to be suspicious.
Well, and for the Olympics, real quick point. Simone Biles left for mental health reasons. And I'll say, give an opinion on this. I think that when you think about it, okay, sure, she trained hard, go to the Olympics, and you do all this to build up to one moment. But I also understand that I've been an athlete before who's trained a lot, and sometimes after a while the game isn't fun or the event you perform in isn't fun. So I mean, just like take it easy on
How
her.
about the stress and pressure of it?
Exactly,
Maybe it
that's
could
my
get to
point.
you.
Sometimes
I
it's
just had to bring that up.
Sometimes it's not fun anymore, no matter how big the stage is in sports or in events. It's not, you got to take it easy on her. I
Well,
understand. but
one of the comments that she made was that she felt like the weight of the world was on her shoulders because so much was expected of her.
sure. And I know some people say she's quitting on her team too, but a team's not a team, with just one person. So I'm just saying, take it easy. Most people have not competed in Olympic sports before. It's a lot, I can imagine. So since I haven't experienced it, and since many of you I don't think have experienced it, just take it easy.
Celebrate the silver medal.
Sure.
That's what you should do.
Simone joins Paris Ford and Derek Bell as 3 that quit on their team. And she ain't the only one. There's a long line of people.
And I just have to share that Smoking Jim's opinions are his own. Not necessarily do we even acknowledge it, let it agree
Didn't we
with
put
it.
that on before the show?
And
none of
he said-
these opinions reflect.
He said he's not discriminating, but he's mean. He's actually a mean man saying that, especially about former guests on our show who were great guests. But
But
that's Smoking Jim.
if she was here, he'd ask her for an autographed picture.
Governor.
You know what? He bit a finger on that and choked on it.
You posted on Facebook too, yeah. Hashtag Simone Biles.
Well, he does post 10 to 20 pictures.
That's
a
what I'm
day.
saying. So
Yeah.
why not just
He
add
may,
another
well,
collection?
here's one of his tricks for all of you that don't know. Put up a beautiful picture and he'll steal it. and then he'll say he asked you for it. Because he liked the picture. I found out his game. He likes the picture, steals it, and it's his.
Take it easy on Simone Biles, though. That's what's on my mind.
Thank you very much, Nick. I agree with you. Mental health is a problem we don't acknowledge as much as we should, and you should care for people because it is a problem.
Hope she never gets another endorsement deal.
And there's the mean.
No, come on.
You just learned
Why?
about mean smoking Jim Frazier. He's proving truly he's not that nice of a guy when it comes to
Smoking Jim.
sports.
Have you ever competed or trained for the Olympic Games?
It's a yes or no
What's that
answer.
got to do with it?
It's a yes
I mean,
or
it
no.
might.
It's his question.
Because if you've experienced it, then I'd take more credibility from you.
Unless eating pizza was an Olympic sport.
Which is not. So you haven't competed or trained. You don't know what it takes. That's all I'm saying is that we haven't experienced what it's like. So just take it easy.
All right. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Smoking Jim. Chip, that was a good one. I appreciate the humor. Glad we got through this with, got to overrule Smoking Jim on some of this. Because he thinks he's actually right, folks. That's the sad part about it. He believes it. What's on my mind is a couple obvious things. The Aaron Rodgers game that was being played, being an ex-negotiator at the Pittsburgh Press and Post-Gazette, people like to do things in the media that they would do across the table. So I found it quite humorous and was wondering what concessions Aaron Rodgers was getting, because I didn't see how he was mistreated, because I think all of you remember that he was drafted when there was a quarterback called Brett Favre. And,
Hall of Fame quarterback.
yeah, and he was drafted. So the same circumstance with somebody called Love
Good point.
is there to replace him. So he's a smart guy. Everybody would say he even got the host for Trebek on Jeopardy. So this isn't a dumb man speaking. He's looking for concessions. So what did he get? He got concessions. He came in smiling because he looked like a Cheshire cat. He got guaranteed money. They even waived a clause on his last year that if he opts out in 2022, he can get the money for the next year and that year, which would put a hit on Green Bay's cap. And it could be an amount of almost $45 million. So his negotiating worked to buy him another year, and he can not get traded next year.
And if he doesn't play, he'll be, Green Bay will own his rights next year.
Yes.
So if he chooses not to play for Green Bay and Green Bay chooses not to allow him to trade him,
Yeah.
then he can't play football for anybody in 2022.
Right. But he will get all the money, though. That's the thing. He can get all the money. So to me, when you've had a long career like he has, and he was great last year, let's not, ridicule him over that. But this wasn't unexpected, especially by me, because, they didn't really mistreat him. All that was BS.
Can I ask a question? Everybody talks about Karen Rodgers like he's a Hall of Fame quarterback, that this man walks on water. And I'm sorry, if I look at he's been to one championship game, and had it not been for Rashad Mendenhall coughing up the pigskin, chances were the Steelers would have won that game. Okay, so
or Troy Polamalu being 2 inches taller.
So it's been 11 years since that happened, and he's had some good football teams that he was in charge of. Yeah. He was an MVP last year, but
what did the team do?
Couldn't beat Tom Brady
Yeah.
in the championship game,
Well,
and looked bad doing it.
No, he could beat Tom Brady. He couldn't beat the genius, Bruce Arians.
Here's what he.
Wait.
Hold it. Here's what he.
You know it.
Here we go.
Belichick
Ding,
was
ding.
a genius when Brady was his quarterback. Arians is a genius when Brady's his quarterback. Anybody else is their quarterback, not so much.
But don't forget that Bruce Arians won 2 times NFL Head Coach of the Year without Brady.
And if Aaron Rodgers would have ran the ball into the end
Yeah,
zone
he
when it was
could've
wide
walked it.
open,
And he
No,
couldn't have won his other
hey.
Super Bowl without riding Mike Tomlin's
Oh
coattails.
my!
Yeah.
Oh my! When
got
I
a question
trade
for smoking?
those two in a minute. Yes, sir.
How much of a genius was Bruce Arian when Jameis Winston was the quarterback of the team?
Well, Jameis Winston threw for 5,000 yards. You can't name 5 other quarterbacks.
Okay,
that threw
whoa,
for 5,000
Wait a minute,
yards.
wait a
He
minute.
threw for
He
5,000 yards.
threw for
Name
30
5,000.
interceptions.
And
30
30
interceptions, and 20 interceptions were dropped by the opponents.
True,
So he
probably.
almost threw 50 interceptions that year and 5,000 yards. Sign me up, buddy.
He might be able to play quarterback and throw
He'll
less than
start.
that's
He'll
what he
start. Jameis will
Hey,
start for New Orleans
thanks to
this year.
everybody watching. Thanks to Bill Means, Patrick Higgs, and Victor Olive for watching the show.
Oh, Victor.
We're
how's he
gonna
doing? Good.
hello there. Hope you're doing well, Victor.
My man.
Thanks for tuning in, and we'll be back with some fiction and fact from Smokin' Jim's Almanac.
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And I tell you what, man, everywhere I go, people tell me, I want to hear more from Nicky Boy. I want to hear more from Chipper. So in lieu of the time, I'm going to forward my time to my main man, Hi Diddle Diddle.
Chip up the middle for a double.
Chip up the middle.
Okay.
Hop along.
Hold it. Wait for the promo. Thanks, Mean Smokin' Jim tonight. The Mean Man.
Oh, thank you very much for your generosity, my dear friend Jim.
Chip, I got to interrupt you. The reason he did it is, look at him. He didn't finish his last
He
piece of pizza.
didn't finish his last slice. So, one of the things I like
Busted.
to bring to the forefront always is I go against norms. That's a given.
That's me.
And when I played the game of baseball, I was a pitcher, and I pay a lot of attention to pitchers. And one pitcher in particular, over the last, I'd say 30 or so
I know
years,
who it is.
really, really impressed me. And he's a man who, if you ever met him walking down the street, he was described as, you'd mistake him
average man.
for a librarian.
Yeah.
A couple of friends of mine, one of them was a consigliere at the Omni, William Penn, and met
okay.
him on several occasions and had nothing but nice things to say about him. This man is in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame, and justifiably so. Pitcher, Greg Maddux. Greg
Sure.
Maddux pitched for the Chicago Cubs, the Atlanta Braves, short stint with the Los Angeles Dodgers, as well as with the San Diego Padres.
Another
Now,
Padre guy.
the thing I find most amazing about Greg Maddux is Greg Maddux wasn't 6'5" and 245 pounds, and he never threw a fastball more than 90 miles an hour. As
He
a
couldn't
matter
break
of fact,
a pane of glass, they said.
he his fastball averaged about 88 miles an hour. The one thing he did have more than any other pitcher I've seen in my lifetime is impeccable control. He could paint the black,
Whoa.
which is
Not like Smokin' Jim.
yes, no, which is the outer edge
can
of the
paint the black.
plate.
You don't even know where it is on the plate.
So to give you an
Ask your
idea,
catcher.
of some of his career statistics, I'll go
Lay
over
it on us.
some brief ones. His wins above replacement, which is a sabermetric metric, okay, his WAR was 106.6. His
even know
one-loss
what that
record
means.
for his career, 355 wins, 227 losses, a career ERA after 23 years of 3.16.
A lot of losses.
The interesting thing about Greg Maddux, at the age of 22, was the first season he had of wins above 15 wins a season. Okay, he had 18 wins that year and 8 losses, an ERA of 3.18, and for the next 17 years, he did not have less than 15 wins.
Wow.
He had, the interesting thing is, the next 17 years, he had no less than 15 wins. In 2005, the 18th year, he had 13 wins. 2006, he had 15 wins again. So the consistency over
yeah,
a
what a
length of a
career.
period of time. And he pitched through the steroid era, okay? And still was one of the best pitchers in baseball. He won 4 consecutive Cy Young awards.
Yeah. Just that alone is.
Yeah, just that alone is an impressive statistic. To give people an idea, with the sabermetric statistics,
That's popular.
there's a statistic they call it WHIP. It's walks and hits per inning pitch. And a pitcher that has a WHIP that's 1.1, 1.2 is considered really good. Greg Maddux, over a 4-year period, his WHIP was .896, .811, 1.033, .946, .980. These are
Smoking Jim, that means it's lower than what would be good.
Whip it.
Yeah,
I posted something on Facebook recently
I saw it.
about a game that he pitched that was 2 hours and 7 minutes long. He threw 76 pitches.
Yes.
Wow.
76 pitches and complete game shutout. I
Right.
mean, the man was a master of his craft, and that just goes to prove the point. It's not how fast you pitch, it's how well you pitch that makes a difference.
Strikes count.
You change your speeds,
Right.
in, out, up, down, and you keep the hitters guessing.
Paint that
And
black.
the guy had over 3,300 strikeouts in his career.
Nice.
That is somebody that, you just look at his statistics up and down, and you couldn't have met a nicer person. And if you would have saw him out of his baseball uniform, you would have never guessed he was a baseball player. One of the best pitchers I have ever seen, Greg Maddux.
Being a pitcher, I agree with you. And let's see what Mean Smoking Jim has to say now. Go ahead, Smoking.
Chip.
Yes, sir.
Who was that other pitcher Atlanta had?
They had Tom Glavine, John
That's what
Smoltz,
I liked him better.
and Steve Avery.
I like
You never even
I
saw
liked
him
him
pitch.
better.
Sorry, folks. I got to disclaim that.
Did you like him better, Glavin?
Smoking Jim never watched baseball until we brought him on Pittsburgh Sportsline.
Come on.
And
Which one do you like better?
I like Doug Drabeck.
Doug Drabeck, and his birthday was just yesterday.
That's why I brought it up.
Really?
And back in 1990, when the Pirates were winning division championships, they won 90, 91, and 92.
Yeah.
I worked for a company called Barefoot Grass, and we treated Doug Drabeck's lawn.
Wow.
Interesting thing was, I was talking to him in his driveway one day. We were just talking baseball, and it was funny. We're sitting there talking, and we're just chit-chatting about baseball.
Sure.
So I went to go leave. He goes, "Hey, can I get you an autograph or something?" I said to him, No, thanks. Would you like mine?" And he almost fell out, because I'm not the kind of person that's ever collected it. Autographs, they mean nothing to me.
Chip,
But
we're on the same page. I've only gotten autographs for my kids. I never wanted to collect autographs.
I got Billy Starr.
But he almost fell over. He laughed so hard.
Sure, no, because they're so used to it.
But I was a little bit more cocky then.
Yeah.
That was.
Oh, okay. Understood.
That's a little fiction and facts. I like that. But I got two autographs my whole life.
Okay.
One I asked for, 6 years old. I rode my bike to Willie Stargell's house. I told you guys this story.
Where did he live again? Because I don't believe
He lived in Homewood.
And how'd you go from Monroeville to Homewood?
I like the bike. I used to.
No, you know why? Because he forgets that Penn Hills lies between Homewood and Monroeville.
Well, on the weekends, see, I grew up very unique.
What do you mean by that?
I lived in an all-white neighborhood, went to an all-white school during the week. But on the weekend, I got shipped to my cousin's house, relative's house.
And they lived in
And they're all
Homewood.
black. They lived in the hood. So I didn't see nobody white on the weekend.
Really?
Yeah. So that's why I was with my cousin. But this week, last week, Al Levine, the talking machine, I got an autograph that I didn't ask for.
Okay, who was it?
Troy Polamalu sent me an autograph picture.
Was that a true story you were telling about Troy?
What's that?
Whatever you were telling us last week.
Did I say it already?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Not
it's
on
valued
air.
It's
Not
valued
on air.
Over,
You
valued
told,
over about
you told me in the
$2,000.
VIP.
Yeah.
Did I?
Yeah.
You did.
You
Yeah,
told
but
us.
You told me yesterday,
But
too, again.
he's a little upset
and
because I ain't
you're-
going to Canton
Right.
to watch
And
him.
I figured, like I told you, and I don't know if you're honest anymore, but you love Bill Cowher.
Yeah, he's going to be the last one speaking, man. I would love to see him
And I don't know
speak.
why you're not going.
Well, you know what? I wouldn't go at gunpoint, but I'll watch it on YouTube.
Here's the interesting thing I find out, because when Bill Cowher retired from the Pittsburgh
Oh, wait.
Steelers,
Hall of Famer.
okay, Most people, most Pittsburgh Steeler fans couldn't wait to show Bill Cowher the door.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know? And
Except
this-
for smoking.
Same thing with Chuck Noll at the end of his career.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
definitely.
and so whenever Mike Tomlin decides he doesn't
I
want to be the
can't wait.
coach,
Please win. You
it's
know
going to
something.
be the same thing.
Hey, what's up, one that can read the future? Cleo or whatever her name is. Tell me when Tomlin's out of here.
We were
I'll
on
drive him to the airport.
Smoking Jim's off the rails.
You will too.
No.
The three of them only did one thing. All they did was win.
Yeah.
Yeah. And only. Yeah.
And everybody criticized them,
Yeah.
including Smoking Jim.
Well, when
Oh.
Ben Roethlisberger retires, Coach Tomlin ought to retire because he been riding his coattail for all these years.
And thank you for your
And
extra
thanks
fiction
Bill
and
Cowher
fact.
for drafting me.
Yeah. We appreciate you got your plugs in on there. Thanks, Smoking Jim. Thanks, Chip. We finally got to end your segment, so it was a little extended by smoking and some discussion. All right, we'll carry on.
Very important positions.
How did you come up with that?
Come aboard, VIP. It was
Yeah.
easy, you know, because Smoking Jim just called me it every week. I mean, why? Even
Yeah,
when I wasn't on camera.
Okay.
Oh, all right. But anyway, so
Just checking.
talking about the Olympics, big story came out of the Olympics was that Norwegian's women's handball team got fined
I
for
missed that.
wearing inappropriate. You didn't hear about
I
that?
missed it.
Smoking Jim, you know about this? I mean,
don't
it's.
watch
I'm sure it was a
handball.
topic. Yeah, but women's a topic that interests you,
Oh,
so
yeah,
that's what I
yeah.
thought you might have
No,
seen that in the news.
He has interest now.
So Norwegian's women's handball team got fined for not wearing bikini bottoms by some European institution because it did not well embody the sport. Which I'm here to tell you, I don't agree with all. They wore boy shorts. There are a few
They
sports.
should have got fined for that.
Right. Well. Okay.
That's smoking.
Yeah,
You had to bring him into this.
Yeah, I had to, and
Should have
that's
just kept him separated.
immediately regretting bringing his opinion into it.
Well, you're still a rookie on the show.
Right,
so we
I still got to
understand.
learn. No, but I mean, when you talk about certain sports, there are certain sports where you need the right attire. I mean, swimmers wear tight swimsuits because you don't want the water treading clothing, so that makes sense. Wrestling, you don't want opponents pulling on
Good point.
loose clothing, so tight singlets make sense. But a handball team, I mean, are there very many instances where you got a player diving where they're going to pull down a player's shorts? I mean, I know they have to tag each other to stop the player from running or for a goal from being
Right.
scored. But like, why is that a big deal? I don't know. I think it's a war on women. I don't necessarily agree with it. Pink offered to pay the fine though for them. Pink, the musical artist. So I thought that was pretty cool. But I'm just here to give you the simple opinion. I don't agree with that. Stop the war on women. And if they want to wear shorts, I don't see a problem in the sport of handball where they should have to wear bikini bottoms. They should be able to wear just regular shorts for that kind of sport.
Thank you, Nick.
You're welcome.
On location. We have an on-location show coming up. Smoking Jim's going to be the chauffeur. Nick's going to bring the cameras, and
Say your
I'll
prayers.
bring my voice. We're going to do the Monsville Prison Fights August 7th. That's on Friday, next Friday. Not this Friday, but next Friday we'll be doing that. And we're going to have a road trip with Smoking Jim, and we'll have more stories about his driving skills. And I already brought bags of peanuts for each of you.
Yeah,
This is my first time. You realize that?
Yes, I understand. I have bags of peanuts. Maybe Smoking Jim will have one bottle of water we won't share. But we'll have a fun time doing that. We've been asked to do another on-location boxing for trainer owner Jack Mook out in the North Hills. He'll give us the location. But that'll be at 2 o'clock September 12th. So mark your calendars for that. We'll be on the road again there. And we're getting a couple feelers out for possibly doing some shows, on a Monday night or even a Saturday, possibly a Saturday show sometime. So, my ears are open. If you have any locations that might want to have Pittsburgh Sportsline there with guests, let me know. And we're going to just roll into the end of the show with an open discussion from some Pirate talk, some Steeler talk. And you know, Smoking Jim's supposedly an NFL scout and a Steeler scout. I've never seen any verification of it. And he's wearing a Pirate hat, and he hates the Pirates. So we'll have an open discussion. Like, the trades aren't surprising to me, but some of the players, like with the Yankees taking the pitcher there, like we discussed, at least we got minor league players.
I'll start with that, though.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm still suspicious.
Go ahead.
I mentioned it earlier. Let's see. So they got Hoy Park, infielder, Diego Castillo, infielder for Clay Holmes. Clay Holmes was sent to the Yankees for those two players. Again, I think it's a good deal for the Pirates, at least on paper right now, but I am eerily suspicious because Hoy Park is a good player. What's wrong with him? I'm skeptical. Clay Holmes was not good. He had a 4.43 ERA coming into this trade. Why do the Yankees want him? Even if they're desperate, why do they want a pitcher like that? They don't
A
need
healthy
right-handed pitcher
arm
in the bullpen.
might help.
Is it healthy, though, if his ERA is near 5? I don't know. I'm scared.
He's
And
not a good pitcher.
What's wrong with the minor leaguers that
They
they sent
didn't
over?
play. They didn't play last year, so it's all something new and shiny.
I know, but like, what's wrong with them? Like, are they going to implode now that they're on the Pirates? I have no idea. I'm afraid.
Young puppy, we appreciate your fear. But being around a little longer than you, I have no fear. I call it the SOBs, same old Bucks.
Now, you know, in Charrington came in with one mission. He had to rebuild this franchise so that it could become competitive again.
Yes.
The cupboards were bare. Everybody knew that.
Oh,
They had
yeah.
a couple of good players. Hey, I want to tell you something. I wish Adam Frazier absolutely nothing but the best and a happy, long, successful career. However, he wasn't going to fit into the Pirates' plans moving forward. And what the Pirates did, you think about this, he's been in the major leagues five years. He's a 270 hitter, okay? This year he is having his career year.
Yeah.
He's 29 years old. Going into next year, he's going to be 30. Generally, what happens with Major League Baseball players is once they hit 30 years old and they're not taking steroids, you see a deterioration of their skills. So, you know.
Well, Maury Wills was 30 when he got called up for the first time, and he went to the Hall of Fame.
No, he's not in the Hall of Fame.
Maury Wills?
No, he's not in the Hall
I
of
don't
Fame.
That
think.
name is not familiar
No,
to me.
Yeah, he
he's
was a
not in
great-
the Hall of Fame.
great
He's not in the Hall
stealer.
of Fame.
Stealing bases.
But anyhow,
Pretty good ball player.
what Ben Charrington is doing is what he did in Boston, what he did in Toronto. The Pirates need as many good young ball players as they can get.
Sure.
And, you know, they've already brought in almost 30, okay? Now, are all of those going to end up being
No.
Major League Baseball stars? The answer to that question is no. But you know what? You bring in enough of them, you're going to find some
Yeah.
diamonds in the rough.
The law of averages, you may get a couple players out that are top notch. You may get a half a dozen players that can play in the majors, and that's what we need.
And the Pirates are not yet done with trades. The Tyler Anderson trade was put on hold. So one of the Phillies players that were coming our way
Yeah.
didn't pass the medical part of his examination. They're going to work that out. If I'm sure the Pirates will find somebody else
Yeah.
that they like in their organization. So I think the trade will get completed. I think Richard Rodriguez will be the
gone.
next piece to go.
But you hear how Brian Reynolds, they're going to be making the team around him.
And that's a
They've
good place
turned
to
down
start.
a couple trades.
They better.
for him.
He was part of the McCutcheon trade. They better build
Right,
around
so
him.
they're keeping him.
No, and
I wish they
and
would have done
should.
that with Austin Meadows, though. So
But but here's what people are upset because of the sins of the previous administration.
yes,
And the thing that I find most amusing, and it really kind of expresses to me, my mind, people's ignorance, is because these trades are happening now. Everybody's taking the opportunity to bash Bob Nutting. Bob Nutting has absolutely nothing to do with any of these trades.
Right.
Bob Nutting really has nothing to do with the day-to-day operations of the baseball
Right.
team. He's the owner. He writes the checks, okay? Travis Williams, Ben Charrington, Derek Shelton, those are the people that run the baseball operation. And you know what? They had bare
let them
cupboards.
do their jobs.
You know,
that's all.
you know what we got. They decided over the winter they're going to blow it up, tear it down to build it back up, and this is part of the process.
Oh yeah, no, it's
Where are
part
my
of it.
established veterans, though? Bob Nutting hasn't been writing checks for a while.
We don't worry about that.
Why
He has his
waste?
plan?
Why waste money on this? You know, you could sign established veterans and you still be 25 games under 500. What's the point?
You're right. Chip's right again. I always thought Maury Wills was in the Hall of Fame. I'm joining the group to get him in.
I joined a group to get Al Oliver in.
Me
No, he
too.
can't get in before Maury Wills.
Yes, he
Oh,
can.
yes, he can. Look at his career statistics.
Yeah.
Look at Maury Wills.
I remember.
You don't
Maury.
even know what he
MVP.
did.
League
You don't
MVP,
even. You
League
don't,
MVP 1962.
oh, when did you just find that out?
Yeah.
That's how much
That's
baseball I
true.
watch. Since we're off subject a little, how about some Steeler talks? Smoking Jim.
Well, they're-
Do you
they're-
have any?
They're in diapers right now. You know, the one good thing about the Pittsburgh Steelers is they always get off to a slow start. And Big Ben, the greatest quarterback in Steeler history, one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history, is doing absolutely nothing in training camp. They're trying to save him. They're trying to get the offensive line together to become a run blocking.
Why are they trying to save him? Did they use him too much last year?
I thought 30 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. He had an All-Pro season, but I guess I'm in
I
the
think-
minority again.
Well, I think come the end of the season, I think Ben was wearing out a little bit. I think his arm was used a little too much because you're throwing the ball 50 plus times a game. You don't have any running game.
Hey, after 3 tendons were ripped out, and they
You know,
sewed
and
them
I
back
think his
together.
arm is going to be stronger this year. Tomorrow, they put on the pads.
Yeah.
Well, the first thing, like I said before, years ago, I was the first one to say it. I will continue to echo it. I said after his rookie year when he had a great year, a Steeler record, 97-yard touchdown reception, I said trade Juju. You can't win a championship with a guy like Juju. He got blonde hair now. He's still dancing on TikTok. I agree with one of the best left tackles, if not the best left tackle in Steeler history, the Sarge. Villanueva said it was too much TikTok and all that. He'll do good for the Ravens. Listen, the Steelers got the worst coaching staff in the league. You got to credit that. You got to credit that with Coach Tomlin and Kevin Colbert.
Can you say that again?
There's not one coach.
No, say that again. Hold on.
They got the worst coaching staff in the league. The worst
So
they've had.
just in the AFC or in the entire
the worst
NFL?
they had since 1968. When
We talking
Bill
just in the
Austin-
conference or the
when
NFL?
The whole league.
Oh, the whole
maybe,
NFL.
Maybe
Oh.
even college. Listen, there's not one coach. Listen, if you're black in the National Football
In the history
League,
of the game.
if you're black in the National Football League, you'll get a token interview for a head coaching job because they got to fulfill the Rooney Rule. Not one coach on the Steeler team got a request for a head coaching interview, not even at Pine Ridgeland, and they were looking for anybody that don't haze. So, so you cannot win, and that falls on Coach Tomlin, and that falls on Kevin Colbert.
Smoking Jim, I got a question before you get on a rampage here.
You want to give me a token interview?
Yes. Here's my token interview for my friend. I don't even know what color he is. But we have the winningest black head coach in NFL history in Pittsburgh. Now you're telling me, which is, I'll give you this, it's 180 degrees away from what we have. You're saying he's the worst coach in the NFL.
Well,
We've never had a losing season with him.
what I'm saying is.
No, but I'm saying
What
what
I'm
I'm
saying is, you're wearing the Miami Dolphin colors.
Yes.
They got the winningest Samoan quarterback Tua in NFL history, and he ain't no good either.
That's a nice shirt. But Smoking Jim, you didn't
You can
answer
al-
my question.
He got a Hall of Fame
My question
quarterback.
is
How did Belichick do without Brady?
not good.
How about in Cleveland? Same thing.
Not good.
You win with Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Coach Tomlin been riding the coattail. If anybody can tell me one thing Coach Tomlin is known for, I'll sit back. He came to Steelers as a Tampa 2 defensive coordinator. The Steelers run a 3-4.
He's known for great disrespectful interviews.
Thank you. Mike McCarthy would have been the move here. I'd have hired Mike McCarthy.
What did he do
on
in
the spot.
Dallas?
Oh, yeah, he did an outstanding job in Dallas last year.
They didn't win very much, Smoking Jim.
Did you notice that?
How'd he do in Green Bay? Didn't he win the Super Bowl over the Steelers in Green Bay?
Didn't
Once.
Ain't he from Greenfield?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Karen Rodgers got him fired.
I bet you we wish he had him back now.
Any other insights, Smoking Jim, except on your opinion of
Well,
Tomlin?
they keep playing around. Listen, the Steelers haven't drafted a cornerback since I drafted Ike Taylor in 2003. They can't draft a corner. Now you got Sutton that ain't done
Where have you
nothing.
been in that time period?
Well, that was Bill
You were just
Cowher.
eating steaks.
Yeah, Coach Tomlin, he act like he prejudiced against me, and we the same shade. And we used to go to boxing matches and stuff. He got mad because I said something on KDKA radio.
Which you
And
did.
he felt like I had his cell phone number. I should have called him beforehand. I told him I don't know what I'm going to say. It just comes out. So he got a little chaff. But I'm still good friends with his wife. But I'll say it again. Wow. Listen, his son, Dino, never made one All-Star team. He got Division I scholarship to Maryland. Coach Tomlin's thanking Maryland every year. He's drafted 2-3 players from Maryland.
Well, Smoking
They
Jim.
ain't had a good team in years.
Smoking Jim, I found out they formed
Nepotism.
they formed a committee with Tomlin on it in Maryland to get Maryland players to the NFL. You got to do some research.
I seen that. And
okay.
his assistant head coach is John Mitchell. He's about as useless as he could be. This man sitting around here for the last 30 years. He ain't busted a grape. He ain't even coaching now. That's a waste of money.
On this happy note, thank all of you for watching. Thanks to Rosemarie for watching, Steve Englert, Anthony Veltri for the 10th time you're watching us. So thanks to everybody else for watching our show. We'll be doing this each week. And I end each show with Stay Joey Strong.